just got back. Just landed from Peoria. You want to talk about that, Diego? It's a pretty eventful trip.
Pretty eventful trip. Something's happened. Someone got one of these guys here.
That's a card.
Yeah, it's a card. It's a
Got a
Luffy.
New coaster.
New coaster. It's a cereal Luffy.
Will you put that down real quick? Oh, I needed that.
Oh,
Thank you.
Gotcha, buddy. Yeah.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I wonder where this came from, though. It's interesting.
Peoria.
Peoria? Who won it? This is a prize card, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah? Who gets this?
Fifth place.
Fifth place?
Yeah.
Who got that? You?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's how you're gonna act with your
awesome.
child one day. It's gonna be Christmas.
Who got you that? Santa Claus? So anyways, yeah, we had a good weekend at Peoria in Illinois. What's supposed to be originally Chicago, I guess. The guys got top 16 at the event. Also, Sagar over there, he got top 16.
And I'm just gonna enunciate his name a little better. It's Sagar, and we are very happy for him. And he did really well.
He did. He did lose to the eventual winner of the tournament, so you know it happens. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, shout out to Mike. He played a great tournament.
Yeah. Won it with Law.
Law.
I'm
Law
happy
wins
to
games.
see it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was saying we were all talking about what we wanted to win after I went out, and I was super happy to see it was Law. You know.
Yeah.
Even if it was the Whitebeard, I'm just happy it was a different Whitebeard.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Strawbeard did not top 4. Great.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Stage just wins the mirror match.
Stage wins the mirror match, as evident by our run.
Yeah.
I played, I call it Garrett Beard, but it's Strawbeard mixed with Boat Beard.
Yeah.
And I went 9-0 in Swiss. Evan went 8-1. The deck literally went 17-1 in Swiss.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a great Swiss deck. I don't know really much about Top Cut because Evan lost in top 16 to Kinemon. His only loss of the previous
Swiss.
day. So the
so
guy knew the deck.
I ended up getting paired up against the same player I lost to in like round 5 or 6. Only time I lost. But
And the only Kinemon in top 16, right?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was definitely running hot though.
Yeah, he was definitely running hot. The Odin was on curve.
Yeah.
Everything was on curve.
He was a good player, not taking that away from him.
No.
Very good
He was
player,
good, yeah.
Very nice person.
But I'm just saying the deck
But, like,
Kinemon, when it sees
When
the
it
curve,
sees it, it sees it.
Yeah,
100%.
you're in a great
There's
spot.
not a lot you can do about double swinging Odins.
And then I lost to the guy who got second, and he was playing a more hardcore version of Boatbeard.
That was
His high
traditional Whitebeard.
Yeah, his high end was just 2 aces. No other high end.
That's crazy.
Yep.
No Luffy, no Whitebeard.
Got it right here.
You know, and he played great. You know, I put him on Gotta Have It both games, and he had it, and he won.
So for the top 16, it was actually going to be 6 Edward Newgates, 4 Kinemons.
Yeah, I was wrong. It's 4 Kinemon.
Yeah, 3 Don Quixote del Flamingo, 2 Laws, and 1 Zoro.
And technically, it's 3 Boat, 3 Strawbeard.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of variants.
a lot of differences because even Boatbeard and Strawbeard are 2 different decks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you break it down, you could even say Kinemon was the most representative Top Cut. You think that's too loose?
That's too loose.
Too loose?
No, I think
Okay.
leader supersedes the variant.
Yeah.
I think whether or not
That's
you
a nice Luffy you have on your head.
Thanks.
by the way.
I don't know. I found
How did
it.
that get there?
I don't know. It just happened.
That's going to be weird when it just cuts to you and all of a sudden you have a Luffy
Yeah,
on
no,
there.
it's funny. Yeah, it's whatever. It's all good. But, no, it was a good event. Yeah. I think,
Great event.
Yeah.
Shout out to Top Cut.
Yeah,
I thought they did
that was
ran the event really well.
fantastic.
that was to be honest, I felt it was a little weird that we're doing paper decklist and not pictures.
Yeah.
But man, everything else was fantastic. They had a smooth operation.
But
Everything went by fast.
Was the paper deck list easier for you when you were deck checking?
Uh,
Or the following day, even for Top Cut?
I
To have that in front of you.
I did enjoy the paper deck list because like do, but also it's harder on both the judge and the player because errors could happen where they mistype serial numbers because for paper deck list you need to have the serial number of the card. That's what matters the most out of everything because you could say Sanji whatever. If you don't put in your serial, I don't know if it's a starter deck, I don't know if it's OPO1, the leader, I don't know what it is. So we had an incident where the guy had a chopper and we couldn't tell if it was OPO1 chopper or STO1 chopper, but thankfully it was, I think, the first starter deck one, so we knew it was that one. So that's something to look out for when you're doing paper deck list.
There was someone in Top Cut, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Seemed like a super good guy and just a genuine mistake. but he wrote on his deck list 51 cards instead of 50.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And he got a game 1 loss.
He started with a game loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's super important to get that right.
Just proofread your deck list. Yeah.
Check out that everything adds up correctly.
Even on picture.
50 and then +1 with your leader.
Yeah, just do a stack of 10 each and your leader, and you should be good. You'll get it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. But so for the event in general, do you guys have any interesting matchups through the event?
No, not really. Honestly, I
9 matches, something interesting.
honestly the deck really cruised on the first day, and on the second day, I went 2-0 in top 16.
Yeah.
And so 11-0, and then lost in top 8. And the top 8 guy, like I said, he just had better both, which is just better in the mirror.
Yeah, because if that had been an online regional, you would have won the whole event because you went undefeated in the Swiss the whole 9 rounds.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Yeah, they had to have the top cup, for that excitement.
And it was, it was a really good tournament. That doesn't take anything away from my opponents. I just think the deck, when it has, I played a really good Whitebeard player in round 9. What's his name? Jeremy, I believe.
Round 9. Jimmy, yeah.
Really good guy.
Yeah, he was cool.
Really cool, and we played a great game. But I just think having both and the strategy of the deck really helps the mirror.
Yeah.
And he was playing Strawberry, like a straight up Strawberry with some thatches, which I thought was cool.
The thatch was interesting.
Yeah, I like the 6-8.
That was one of the few differences.
And I think that's one of the things that helped him throughout the day. Having that thatch in the mirror, I would think is really, really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, doesn't take anything away. Everyone played great. It was really great. The deck was just able to roll really well. What do you think, Evan?
Yeah, anything for yourself?
I mean, my tournament experience was pretty average, I guess. Like, not average.
Top 16 average.
Yeah, but I'm saying, my matchup spread was average.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I played 3 Whitebeard players. I played a Luffy, a Zoro, 2 Kinemons, 1 Kid, and a Doffy player. So I played this is what you should expect to sit down and play against. It wasn't like I didn't sit down against a Garp round 1 or anything like. Yeah. Like my round 1 opponent was a Luffy, and I was like, man, that's really annoying. I didn't want to play Luffy.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like Whitebeards and Kinemons.
So you got right into the meta.
Field of Red. My final opponent was a Zoro player. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
He said he was a fan, so if you're watching,
Joe?
Thanks. Joe. I'm bad with names. I'm not trying to be...
Joe Fetting? What's that?
I'm really...
was he wearing a mask?
No, I played him. He's really cool.
Yeah, he was super cool. Yeah,
he was my opponent in round 7.
So you lost in Swiss round 3, I think, to Kinemon.
No, it was round 5.
Okay, so you lost...
It was 5 or 6.
And then you played the same fella in top cut.
Person I played against in Swiss, I ended up playing in top 8.
Unfortunate.
Or not top 8, top 16. And it was annoying because one of the biggest factors about our deck is the surprise factor that comes with it. So he came into it knowing what I was playing.
Yeah.
And then Kinemon is a hard matchup for the deck if the Kinemon player is able to see the Odin when they need to see the Odin.
Yeah.
And he saw the Odin when
He
he
saw it, and then I was watching that match because the other judges had already parked themselves on the other side of the table. We played on a super long table, and he had Yomi and Daniel on that side. I'm like, well, I can't hover, so I'm going to be on this side and watch you guys and Karar, who was playing Kinemon too. And I'm seeing your game 3. Well, actually, no, your game 2 was fun because at the end, cards in hand, life left, stack everything on Nami, swing.
I did the math, and I was like, I think this wins.
Yeah.
10 on Nami,
but
swing.
Then, unfortunately, on your game 3, how did it go again? It was the Odin?
He played Odin down, and then afterwards he did 2 swings for 10 with Odin. Yeah. And then he played triple 1-drop blocker. Triple Toki, and then left 2 up for Pump Gibson.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, okay.
And he only had the leader and 2 aces. So mathematically, there was nothing he could have done because he was going to swing again and be done with it.
I will say, actually, now that I think about it, my toughest matchup was a law player I played in round 5. I should look up his name because he was really good. And he threw down 3 of the starter deck Zoros on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all those 3 Zoros are going to swing next turn to win him this game.
Yep.
I have to win this turn. And thankfully, I was able to win this turn. That was, without a doubt, my hardest game in Swiss. Because... just
starter
knowing
deck Zoro?
Yeah, that's the new tech.
Threw down 3 of them.
That's the Whitebeard tech now. That's what Cross played also in his deck.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's the counter Whitebeard card.
Well, see, that's something I can see being really good against Whitebeard, but also really bad against everything else.
but it's also a lot of Whitebeard.
I mean,
I
I
know.
don't believe that guy made top cut, but he was having a good tournament. You
Well,
know?
didn't the law player that came in first play starter deck Zoro and Assist too?
Yes. But I don't think at the amounts this guy played.
Well, yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but that's like just seeing that law players are transitioning to playing that card.
Yeah,
That's the way they
it was,
play it in
it was
Japan.
a tech in Japan too.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
So when we went, I think it was
It
Treasure
was a
Cup
flagship.
or
that
Taco
won.
Fest.
Yeah.
It won a preliminary.
Oh, it was a preliminary.
Yes, it was
Okay.
a Taco Fest. Because I was in the hotel room, I looked at the results, and it had won the preliminary because it was with the starter
That's
deck
right.
Zoro.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So speaking of the tournament, unlike Miami, there was a lot of rule sharking in regards to some of the new character effects from OPO2 because one character, Whitebeard, the 9-drop, he says on play, you select up to one of your leaders to increase by 2,000 or so, and if you don't declare it, you didn't choose the effect. You didn't choose to target him.
Yeah.
Usually, obviously, when you're playing at locals, it's implied. Why wouldn't you want to increase your leader, right? Because even if you wanted to bait for counters, that's irrelevant because you can always bait counters even if you're winning the attack value.
Right.
And then another thing was the Curly Dadan is the only top 5 searcher in the game that says up to. Everybody else says you search 5. Dadan is you search up to. So when you play the card, you gotta say the amount because if you don't say the amount, you're implying it's 5 because you didn't
It's not even
say.
applying, it's 5 when it be applying 0.
Well,
It's implied.
you gotta
Ben
say
said
it.
it was implied that it's 5.
Yeah, but basically it's a lot of communication because in these high stakes
But
tournaments,
he
you
also
gotta
said
tell
it
them.
needs to be designated.
Yeah.
And that when the head judge says you need to designate how many you're looking
Yeah.
for, I think that's
So like
all.
in
Oh, yeah,
Swiss,
100%.
it'll fly by, but in Top Cut already, you need to hear what they're saying and do it that way. You need to
Right.
play it that way
Right.
exactly. That's why earlier they were saying, the
And we
red
got
players.
spoken to about it
Yeah.
in Top Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ben did a great job of saying,
Yeah.
look, this has been a thing at this tournament. I want to address it now.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys know. You need to clarify for the 9-drop.
Yes.
You need to clarify for your
Yes.
Dodons.
Declare
and
your triggers.
He was very, very clear
Yeah.
about that. And, to your point, that was not a thing at Treasure Cup. Like, the rule
yes.
sharking at this level.
It's a new set, so the effects are, it's a power creep,
No doubt. But I
Yeah.
think that also speaks to
The competitiveness of the player base.
Mm-hmm.
the competitiveness of the player base and like what the pricing is at regionals. You got a Nats invite sitting
Yes.
right there.
So-
and people who like play this game for a hobby and want to do really well, that's more important than $700. That's more important
Yeah.
than a $500 chopper.
So-
that it means more. It does mean more. You want to be at that event. You
wanna go
not just
Nats.
because of that, but also the pricing you get for participation at Nats
Yeah.
is going to outweigh any other event for
Yes,
participation.
that's why you're gonna get it.
Traditionally.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, well, obviously. Yeah,
We
but
have
yeah,
no idea.
We're sure it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
Knock on
traditionally
wood.
it's usually Nats has the best
Yes.
participation
Has
outside of a Worlds.
really good participation. So, example in here. It's right here. Top 16.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
yeah, top 16 all got a stamped finalist card,
Yep.
where you included every single card that said finalist. If in Nats, every single player got something like this.
Oh, see, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like
For
very
Digimon.
limited.
And it says like Nats on it or something.
Yeah, it said something like that.
Cool.
So the only way to get those cards was to be at Nats, and it's a sealed pack, and then
All arts.
all,
Very
all
exclusive.
every single one with the stamp on it, and then on top of that, we got like 8 of the event packs of like the current event pack in
Yeah,
rotations,
that's pretty
which
good.
at the time it was event pack 3, which was terrible for anyone that knows anything about it.
unfortunate.
But like, imagine if you showed up and you got like 8 chances of pulling like Jinbei.
Yeah, that's incredible. So I really think that lends itself to the competitive nature at these regionals.
Yeah, but it's always a point of communicating to your opponent and making sure everything is out in the open so they don't take context clues on accident. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you could be at a YCS and you do this or something, and it partake it as an attack declaration, and they may or may not side against you or with you, and that could cost you a game. I seen it happen at YCS Miami like years ago. My friend went like this, and the guy took it like a thing, and he responded, and they had an argument about it. He got sided against, and then he lost. So it's like you play Yu-Gi-Oh, so it's better. Yu-Gi-Oh has a lot of like stages and phases in the game.
Yeah,
and
Yu-Gi-Oh
you
is like
have
really
to-
complex. It's hard
Yeah.
to like compare it because when you do an action in One Piece, and then even in a lot of like Bandai games in general, when you play a card, the intention of what you're doing is implied with the card that you're playing. Where Yu-Gi-Oh has a tons of different nuances and then trigger timings and stuff.
Right.
And where they also have something called hard ones per turns, where if I activate that card, I'm not allowed to use it anymore for the rest of the turn.
Yes.
And then maybe it's, they didn't activate that, so maybe they're just not activating it because they intend to use it at a different time this turn. Stuff like that. So it's really hard to compare Yu-Gi-Oh to something where, like today versus set 2 of One Piece.
But the parallel that I'm throwing to that is that you have to communicate with your opponent and tell them what's being played. It's like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you do draw phase, standby phase, end of standby phase, main phase.
Yeah.
You play your card, response. You don't just keep playing. You do response.
But Yu-Gi-Oh is a game where you do that. You're not
right.
I don't
But
play chopper response.
Also,
no, always. But if you fail to do that and you get caught and you don't declare the effect on Whitebeard, you're screwed.
It's important.
So you gotta
when you play a card that you understand that you're playing the card and you need to acknowledge its full effects.
You need to protect yourself and just, do the best you can to make sure everything is out there so you can't get shark like that.
End of the day, what Diego's trying to say is that whenever you play a card, you need to think about why you're playing that card and make sure that you're declaring your card's actions and then communicate with your opponent with the intention of what you're trying to do and not just assume your opponent is doing that.
Yeah.
Because it creates game states where players are confused and then players will use that to their advantage. So you don't want to be caught with your pants.
Not everybody's a homie, so...
Yes. There are players that will use that to their advantage, and then also at the same time, just take your time to think about what you want to do and why you're doing things before you do it.
But don't slow play.
Yes, don't slow play. Yes, I know. Don't slow play, but playing at a reasonable speed is not slow playing. You are allowed to take time to think about your actions. And don't let people think that you are not allotted time to think about your actions, because it's a strategic card game. You shouldn't be autopiloting. If everyone was autopiloting your actions, then it wouldn't be a fun game. It would just be Zoro mirrors.
So for Zoro mirror match, oh my god, not Zoro mirror match.
No hate Zoro.
Just buddy, no hate Zoro.
But I will say, in top 16, there was like little to no rule sharking. I mean,
they knew what they were doing.
The camaraderie was great. The respect for everyone was great. Everyone was awesome.
Even the fella that got the game lost took it in stride.
Was so cool about it.
Nathaniel's.
It was also his first One Piece tournament.
Impressive.
It was super impressive.
Yeah, invite on the first try, damn.
Yeah, that's what we told him. When he was telling me and someone else's story.
You have the Decklist over here. What's that?
Yeah, and I want to shout out also Tyler, who beat me in top 8.
Yeah.
My only loss of the whole tournament.
Yeah.
And his YouTube page also, Will to Win. If you guys want to check him out.
Yeah, Williams' YouTube page.
And I also wanted to say that top 16 was just so diverse.
Yeah.
For regionals. What we saw at online regionals.
It was Ocean Red.
It was Ocean Red.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw Zoro, you saw Newgate, and I wonder if some of this also has to do with the fact that it's not in person. Like, do you feel like knowing that it's in person, you have a top 16, and it's like, I need to make it to Top Cut, and I can play it out? Yeah. Instead of having to go 9-0 affects people's decision making.
Yes.
For example, I don't think even though we saw a smoker actually do well online, I would think a smoker would have a harder time there than trying to just make Top Cut. Like, I would think as smoker, like, if I can squeeze into Top Cut, make it a best of 3, I have a good shot of, like, seeing the hand.
Like Kaido.
The dream hand. Like Kaido, Yeah. Whereas, like, going 9-0 in Swiss and hoping I win this thing.
Yeah, you can afford to lose on a Top Cut kind of tournament.
Correct.
You cannot afford to lose at a Swiss only.
Right. Yeah. You can't win. You literally can't win.
Yeah, you can only get pricing. Yeah.
And does that affect, do you think, Evan, deck choice?
So, yes, that obviously decides deck choice. I do have to say something that you talked about the diversity of this compared to the online format, because you said the online format was a sea of red. When you
Diego did.
Yes.
But I agree with it for the most part. Outside the first weekend. The first weekend was a sea of green, and then it became
but I'm saying, like,
the Top Cut.
We really have 2 weekends to go off of.
Are you trying to say that this Top Cut wasn't a sea of red?
It was 7.
No, yeah.
Are you so? What is
Unless
it? How
you
many,
include Law Red.
6 Whitebeards. How many Zoro player?
Just
One.
one.
Yeah.
One, and then how many Laws?
2.
Steel
2?
Whitebeard.
And then 4 green and 3 blue. I mean, we haven't seen
But
that
yeah,
much.
3
9
blue.
out of 16 players were playing red.
You could also say 7 players were playing green. I mean, 6 players were playing green.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying is
Yeah.
it really that diverse?
It's more
I
diverse
think
than you
it's
would
cool.
expect.
I think it's diverse in the sense that you have multiple versions of red.
Well,
Yeah,
yes,
it's
but
expression.
at the end of the day, like
Yes.
Yeah.
as a player,
Yeah.
if I sit whether I'm sitting down versus a Luffy, a Zoro, or Whitebeard, I'm still sitting there being like,
They all got their pistol.
red, more red.
They all
It's
got
just-
Bista.
It's red and green.
They all got
That's-
Otama.
That's all we're seeing.
I mean, that's
is
been
red and
since
green.
set 1.
I know,
Yeah.
but I don't know. At least for me, I'm just kind of sick of just sitting in front of red and green every single.
It's okay. Yellow's coming.
Yes, I can't wait for set 3. Set 3 is going to be so fun.
And
Black and
and
yellow.
And black gets better next set.
Yes. We're going to see...
Yeah.
I think next set is actually going to create a diverse format.
Yeah.
I think we're in the illusion of a diverse format because it's... Yes,
I did not say it was diverse format. I'm saying
Yeah.
for the meta. I
Yeah.
think this was as diverse as we're probably going to get. For
Like
a
the
top
fact
12.
that
I don't know.
the top 4,
I think it's
different
an
colors.
illusion of diversity because you're seeing different leaders, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's still just green versus red. And then guess what? The deck that won it was the deck playing both of them together.
You're not wrong.
That's
I
okay.
still think red's the best, green's
Yeah,
the best.
yes.
And the right blue player can
The
go
right
into
green-
the right event.
the right law player too. Yeah.
Imagine being a blue player in this format.
Wow.
Speaking
Holy
of,
crap.
we will have an interview with a top 16 Doffy player coming up very soon.
Very soon.
How dare you say that?
Do you mean like now? Very soon?
I don't know. I'm kind of done talking with you, Evan.
Oh my God.
Now would be a good time, actually.
And this is where I go.
Hey, Sagar, come over here. Evan,
Stop
leave.
doing your homework.
Me leave?
Stop
Yeah,
doing
you
your
go.
homework.
Why, why not Diego? How about have the top 16 couch?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You know what?
No,
Okay,
you're
top
good.
16
Yeah.
count.
Peace.
Top 16 finalists right here. Nats invitee, acceptee.
How's it
Sagar.
going?
It's a pretty stacked couch.
It is a stack couch.
Yeah.
It's almost like we did
The
really
home?
deep,
Damn,
you know?
Saga.
Yeah.
The casting couch. Oh, Jesus.
So, Sagar, talk to us. Doffy, why'd you play it?
So I played it because, well, one is my favorite deck, and
Yes,
damn, there was just so much red. I was expecting a lot more Whitebeard,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
It's still a
It's-
ballsy pick, though. I know it's your favorite deck, but we have not seen Doffy perform really that well yet. It did get one top 16 at regionals
Yeah.
in America. It was a guy that follows the podcast, Sage. Played Evan and I, actually,
Yeah.
2 weekends ago or whatever, on the online regionals. That was like the best finish so far for Doffy. So what made you think this was a good event for it?
So, well, Zoro's running around and Doffy just eats Zoro alive. Like that's why I liked it a lot. It's like almost a free matchup.
What's the card that's important in that matchup? Is it the boa? Is it just you just
Teach.
win?
I mean,
Yeah.
love beam, everything. You just draw so
Jinbei.
much. So defensive. Yeah, Jinbei.
Yeah.
Jinbei's amazing in that. And it did pretty well in a Whitebeard, like because you
Strawberry or
could,
boat beard?
Strawberry was way easier for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see both?
I did see. No, actually, I didn't see boat at all.
Okay.
I only played one Whitebeard.
Oh wow.
The whole like Swiss. I know it
That's
makes
crazy.
no sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, I played a little of everything. I played like freaking Smoker to Red Green Luffy to like
Red Green Luffy. You played Red Green Luffy in tournament.
yeah,
Wow.
second
That's-
round. Yeah.
All right.
It was so weird.
My
Like,
second round was Magellan. It was weird too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Mine
closest
was,
game.
Kinemon.
Nice.
Yeah. The one I lost the one Kinemon. Obviously, green's hard for blue.
Yeah.
And I did not want to see any kids.
Yeah.
And apparently there was a lot. But I think they
Yeah.
all just ran into reds early and they all
Yep.
started X1.
It seemed like that's what happened. We had a buddy that was playing Green Kid.
yeah.
It just I think you run into too many problems within the format.
Yeah.
Like you're either too late to the end game, or you're too slow in the beginning of the game. It's like you never hit the right tempo.
I think the problem is right now with Kid is that you can build your deck really well against Whitebeard, but not as well against everything else in the format,
Yeah.
or you can build your deck really well against everything in the format and not Whitebeard.
And your tempo just feels weird, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just too slow. Like, just
Yeah.
in general. Compared to, like, Kinemon. Kinemon takes off fast.
Lou does not agree with your format.
Lou
opinion.
hates that shit.
Lose that cat.
Yeah. But yeah, Kinemon just like when it takes off,
Yeah.
it takes off hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's so hard to stop. And nothing outvalues a double swinging Odin when it's on board.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It's true. That it wreaks a lot of value.
Yeah.
But you did swim through it all. You got
Yeah.
8-1 in Swiss. Actually, it was really cool because we all came together, and the final tables for Swiss were 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was super
awesome.
cool to see because we're all homies, and it was really fun to do well together.
I wish we
Yeah.
would have been actually like lined up because me and you got put at the stream table.
Streams,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was
honestly,
alone.
Ben called me out for it and a couple other people, but I would be lying if I said my ambition dwindled when you guys lost in top 16. Like a top 2 final with the Florida boys would have been pretty fun.
That would have been sick. Would have been sick.
I would have liked that, but me
Yeah.
and you got the short end of the matchup stick in top 16.
Yeah, you know.
Talk about it. What'd you go against the top 16 in?
Well, I
The
ran.
future winner, right?
I ran into the champ himself.
Yeah.
Dude was awesome. He was a great player. Genuine guy. I mean, he played Law, and it's not a good matchup for Doffy. Like, I felt terrible.
Yeah,
There's
it
no
was
removal.
Cross for everyone out there.
Yeah.
Michael is his real name, but you guys will probably know him from his social accounts as Cross. Go follow, go check him out.
Yeah.
Great player, great guy, you said.
Yeah, he was a baller. I mean, game 1 was really close. I got 2-0'd. Game 1 was super close.
Blue's upset you got 2-0.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Blue. But, yeah, we had like a 30-minute game 1 because it was
Yeah.
just back and forth. It was super grindy. And he got it out in the end. And game 2, I just got beat down by Rush Zoro.
What were the problem cards?
Rush Zoro for sure.
Yeah.
And, of course, 5-drop Law in that deck. I mean, he cycled 1 Bonnie and 1 Nami the entire game 1. And I could never get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem with Blue. You
Yep.
just don't have an out for it.
And he was able to keep those in his hand and then play down and
Yep.
get card value.
Yeah.
And that value that they can just keep creating is just too much sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, like, Doffy's a value deck.
Yeah.
At heart, it's a value deck. But
Yeah.
Law just outvalues it way harder.
Now, would you, like, after that matchup, would you consider playing, like, the set 1 Jinbei?
So,
2-4?
The 4-2, yeah.
Oh, the 4-2.
Yeah, because that
would
is
be
a really strong
good.
counter to Law.
Yeah. It would be really good. But
I love
with
that
the amount of red I saw, like,
Would you say that's bad against red, being able to bottom deck?
no,
Zeros?
it's good against red. It's good against Zoro. But, like, against the Whitebeard players,
It does
it's
nothing
pretty
that matchup,
useless.
yeah.
Correct.
And it
It
doesn't,
doesn't
have
even
combo.
counter, yeah.
That's the real
It
problem.
does have trigger, though.
It
That's
does have
trigger.
trigger.
But I don't play cards just for their trigger.
Yeah.
You know, like, I could play a 4 of, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to always have it in
Right.
life.
But
I don't
just
wanna play for
and
that.
not only that, but Doffy's one of those decks where having dead cards in hand feels so bad.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You can't get away with it.
No.
Like with Whitebeard, if I have dead cards in my hand, my opponent doesn't think that.
Yeah.
You know, they're thinking that could be a radical, that could be a guard point. That man has 8 2Ks in hand. Like they always have to think the worst. But with Doffy, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot easier for me to put you on gotta have it. You know
For
what
sure.
I mean?
No doubt. And, like, a lot of Doffy is, like, protecting your guys against certain matchups, and I need my hand, like, able to counter out for that.
Yeah. Yep. Did you run any other events besides Level Up Beam?
Nope. I tried Brickfist, testing Brickfist, but I just, same thing. Like, when it's not useful, it is terrible. Like,
Yeah.
it is so bad. There's just matchups where I don't want to see it.
Now, with the bigger numbers and more people leaning towards Whitebeard with Marco, and the
Yeah.
success of the Whitebeards playing Marco this past weekend, most had it in Top Cut, I believe. You'd have to look at the list, but I know at least 4 of the Whitebeards ran Marco.
Yeah.
Does that make you reconsider something like a Breakfast?
For sure. I mean, if there's going to be a lot more Whitebeards, and a lot of them are playing Marco, I think Breakfast isn't that bad.
Yeah. Because it's what? A Borsalino and Marco lifter at heart,
Yeah,
right?
that's really all it's for.
Yeah.
It's just for those 2 cards. But I think for that tournament, it was way better that it didn't play it.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
100% better. Yeah.
Was there anything you change looking back at it? Obviously, top 16's incredible. My man's going to Nats. But hindsight 2020, to try to get that Luffy, was there a card you feel like you could have changed that would have helped you or anything like that?
Just for that top 16 match, I mean, just the Jinbei. Like that's the only thing Blue can do. Blue is such a weak color. They don't give it a lot. But it's really just to balance out the red meta. That's all Blue.
Anything Swiss wise though, like in your run where you were like, maybe one more of that, because I know you your take on the deck was interesting in the sense that you ran a 1 of 5/7.
That was a mistake. I was like last second change. I only was playing 2 Teach at the time, and I was playing 2 vanilla 5/7s because I think the 5/7 on curve is really strong. You actually put me onto that.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah,
I still liked it from last format. You played the Virgo.
Yeah.
Remember? And it,
pretty much, yeah, it was just Virgo.
If you can slap that down turn 3, it's just so good.
Yeah, it still turned out to be pretty good. I played it in like the first 2 or 3 matches, the 1 of. And it turned out like really great. Like I played it on curve, and it's just hard for people to deal with.
Is that better playing that on curve than using Doffy's skill though?
I think so. Personally, but I didn't play the deck.
So,
like in the Whitebeard, that's a 7 reoccurring squeeze.
Yeah, but against Whitebeard, that's an attack I swung into.
But it blocks itself better than a normal 4/5. You know, so it saves itself more than any other card that I would leader skill, I guess. Yeah, that's the only reason I liked it, because I could have a better
protect
board.
it.
Yeah. Way easier to protect my guys.
Or sometimes they're just too scary to swing into a 7.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll ignore it half the time, I feel like.
Effectively, they have to swing 9 no matter what. And then if they don't have anything that's like a 5/7 already, they have to put 4 down on their leader. That's good for me.
Yeah, because like you said, Doffy's a value deck.
Yeah, I'm legit just trying to count your Dawn and make you use it poorly.
Right.
That's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
But ideally, and this is why I like the 5/7, is turn 1 you Perona, turn 2 you cheated out a body.
Yeah.
You're able to protect that body. You have Doffy, you have that body, you slam down a 5/7. That's a pretty thick board.
Yeah.
You know, you're already scaling without having to play down your Mihawk yet. Without having to play, if you play at the 7-drop Doffy, you know what I mean? You're already starting to scale some. And repeated swings, I just think are so big.
Yeah.
I mean, everything feels like it's so about board right now. It's about board, it's about hand, and it's about resources. And you could say that for any card game. But it being just 2 sets and the card pool being so small, I feel like resources are just everything and outvaluing your opponent.
Yeah, and another thing I liked about the 5/7 is, so when you go against green and they play the 4/6 Yamato, they can tap that down, but they ain't killing it. You know?
They're not going to swing into it.
Yeah, that card is way less value than normal.
Yep. So what would you have changed to either make it 2 or would you have got rid of it? What would you have done, you're saying?
Yeah, so I originally had 2 Teach and 2 5/7, and then I cut 1 like immediately last second before I had to turn the list in to play a 3rd Teach.
And I like that though. I do
that card was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know, like on the spot, I'd probably have to cut out 7-drop Doffy completely.
Did you find use for him? Because
I did.
One of the flex cards I didn't know about.
Yeah, I did. I mean, it was because of like the early aggression. It's hard for me to like play a Mihawk into a red deck and like be safe.
Yeah.
But Doffy like lets me do that.
Because you still have Don up for a love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or like a boa swing love, or like leader skill. Like it's a little more flexible.
Yeah.
And it effectively buys me a turn. If I bounce like 5-drop Luffy, they have to spend 5 mana on it.
Correct. Or if like it almost allows you to play the Mihawk safer.
Yeah.
Because A, you removed something from the board, you lifted something.
Yeah.
And then B, it's like, are you gonna deal with my board?
Yeah, no. It's another 7K. You gotta kill it. Like
you gotta do something.
Yeah.
And it just makes it feel like it's more free to play that Mihawk.
Yeah. The curve out feels strong with it. But
Evan, do you have any more questions for Sagar?
Yeah. So you're going to Texas along with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna run back with Doffy? Is that a deck after performing with this? Is this your meta call for the format, or are you trying to mix it up?
No, I'm probably gonna play something else. Something more fun. Like
More fun?
What are you eyeballing?
I don't want to try as hard as I did with Doffy.
Yeah.
A lot of thinking.
I mean, that's something people don't know, is the amount, specifically you and I, and some of our other friends that went with us to Peoria, how much we play tested.
God, yeah, we play this like a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
play tested a ton.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, there was so many 5 a.m. nights though, between us and some friends where it was like, one funny night even, I came down from my apartment to walk my dog, and these fools were out there just play testing. Just having fun at 5 a.m., just playing cards.
They were at their apartment's like communal area,
Yeah.
just outside playing card games because they called them at like midnight and they couldn't get in, so they just stayed there and played.
Yeah,
So
so
we try to wake you guys up.
I know. But this is how much we played, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
you
we
guys
put
play
in
test?
so many hours.
Put in a lot of
That's
time.
something that I think is really crazy about you guys versus me because I don't play test ever.
Yeah.
Like I'll like
But that's because you had someone who like created a really good deck, and you're able to just copy his deck card for card,
Hey, yo.
and then was able to play it. You know.
Yeah,
all right.
sounds about right.
But the thing is that I just don't play test in general.
No, you don't.
Like I remember last time I played Law. First time I played Law in tournament, I went X and 1 in a 5-round
At
tournament.
house.
At house. First build, no play testing, and I went X and 1.
Yeah, your only losses in the finals for me.
Yeah, and then the Whitebeard list. Yes, that deck it was insane, but I will tell you, how many players do you know could show up with a deck that they've never touched once and then go X and 1 top 6?
No, it's definitely
Yeah,
achievement.
yeah.
No,
Yes,
sure.
exactly.
There's no doubt about
It's not
that.
hard.
But
It's hard to do that.
I'm just saying it was a nice list.
No, it was a nice list. And that's
It's
why
a damn good list.
It's a really good list. That's why I played it.
Yeah.
I just was like, this is the meta call.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's crazy how much you guys play test personally.
Yeah, we do play a lot.
I'll play like 2 games and I'm like, oh, that was my play testing for the week.
But I feel like also for a lot of card players, it's something they do with their homies and stuff.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
Like for us, it's like it's also us hanging out. We'll watch basketball. We'll watch whatever while we're doing.
Dave.
Shout out to the comedy show, Dave. We'll watch anything while we're doing playtesting. So
I don't
it's
know
like,
what that inside joke is between you guys, but
it's a TV
Only me
show.
and Chuck. Yeah.
Yeah,
or
Chuck.
Chuck, that's what it was.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. I think that's a lot of the fun of One Piece right now is the camaraderie amongst the players. And,
Yeah.
and that playtest.
I will say that this, like, I talk about how I've played like every card game ever.
Uh-huh.
One of the best communities I've ever been a part of.
Oh, easily for
Yeah.
me. I come from Pokemon, and that was a great community too for me. I don't know how it is now, but that was way back in the day.
Yeah.
But One Piece has been fun. Like, I mean, just the fact that we even know each other all now because of this dumb card game
Yeah.
is super cool, you know?
It's been a great time. I mean, there's a lot of cool people. Even at the tournament, like
Yeah.
top 16.
100%.
Like everyone's sweating for the Luffy and stuff like that, but a lot of the people they were just genuine,
Yeah.
you know?
Was this your favorite tournament yet? That you've been able to
Yeah,
play? in?
probably, yeah. It felt different. I don't know.
It did.
It just
Felt like it mattered.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Like, Treasure Cup, don't get me wrong, it felt cool, but it was a money quest. You're playing
Yeah.
for money, you know?
Pretty much.
It's kind of like when you go into the casino and you're like, yeah, I'm going to try to win some money today. You know what I mean? And that's a great feeling. That's a great vibe, too. I'm not crapping on that
And
vibe.
Sauger felt that.
And you
vibe
guys
this
even,
week.
Yeah, dude.
you guys even did that at Peoria. I
Got
lost
some money.
Yeah, I lost some money
We
at the
ate this
casino.
weekend.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that casino.
But I will say, like, regionals felt so much more competitive. Like, it was really a cool vibe. It's a vibe I did not get in the online regionals.
No. We talked about this in the last
Yes.
podcast. God, we haven't made a podcast in a week.
Yeah, we took a week off. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
You guys are
But-
slacking.
I know. And we came back strong with Sagar.
Yeah. But it's hard to like be in a mindset for a card game when
Yeah,
you're
playing
like
it online on a computer.
when you're sitting at your house.
Have you ever played an online regional?
No, it sounds like a bad idea. You know? But
No, I get
more tournaments. I
It's
guess
nice
is
for
good.
the entry promos. Really nice, and if you
Yeah.
can do well, it's really nice. But at least for me, it's hard to be in a tournament mindset when you're like
Playing Jedi Fallen Order
Exactly.
in between rounds.
That's exactly what I did.
You doing?
Yeah, I was playing Star Wars. I was more interested in playing the Star Wars game than I was in the event.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah. I just feel like there's so much cheating that goes on.
That
and
too.
You
I
can't,
mean,
like,
you
catch.
just can't tell.
Yes.
There's probably so much soft cheating, as they call it, going on. But
Yeah.
yeah, regionals felt different than Treasure Cup. It felt like it mattered. It felt like there was the looming Nationals invite, which there was. You know, like I know that was like the cool thing. We're all like that day, Saturday. We're like, hell yeah, we're going to Nats.
I actually
Like,
didn't know that you could get your Nats invite that tournament till
Oh,
you
you
told
just-
me.
till
Yeah,
I told you.
yeah, I didn't know that.
Did you know beforehand, or did Garrett go up to you and go like, "You're going to Nats"? You're like, "I'm going to Nats."
No, yeah, it was like the last round. It was my
Oh,
winning
really?
in. Yeah. And he was like, "Yo, you got to win this to get the Nats invite." I'm like, "What Nats invite?"
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a Nats coming up.
Yeah. January.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm
we have a
so
date?
excited.
Nice.
Yeah, I think on the OnePieceTCG.com it says the competitive layout for the whole season, and I believe Nationals is in January. We do not know the location or the specific date.
We won't know for a while.
But we're going. That's
Yes,
all I
we
know.
will
Sure.
go for
Yep.
sure, 100%.
So congratulations.
Hey, congrats.
You know?
Congrats.
Yep. It was a good run. We had a great tournament, and I guess we'll get Orange G Samurai's input here on what it was like to judge it, because that was the first in-person regional in North America, and we were able to do that. So that was really cool as players.
Yeah.
It was cool to do that with you guys. And shout out to all the homies that came with us, and they're going to crush it in Texas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Gamers boys.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. Well, thank you.
For sure.
Diego, come over here. Swap out here.
Swap out.
And wrap it up
Tag
for
out.
us. Talk to us about the judging event. What was
Okay.
that like?
So I went a little bit over it earlier with the whole ruling stuff. It was really good event. TL was great. First time I worked with the Top Cut in person. Super smooth operation.
Did you judge their online tournaments?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did the Top Cut events both days.
Uh-huh.
So it was great there, and it was great now. So technically, because of the amount of tournaments that I've done already, I'm more of a senior judge. So we had some new people coming in this event, and they were asking me questions too, and looking at me. It's like, oh, let's go to Daniel.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ben and Nate.
Yeah.
Let's go to Eric. No, but it was a very well-behaved tournament for the most part. A lot of the rowdiness from the Treasure Cup has already passed away. It's gone. So players are more like chill about it, sans the whole ruling thing, because there's more stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's way more stakes. So people want to win. They want to get that invite. So like I said, declare your place, please. But for the event, judging was mostly fine.
Do you feel like you have to be more locked in knowing the stakes? Like knowing that.
Yeah,
that
you don't
everyone's
want to
more
ruin.
competitive.
Yeah, so like ideally, a judge doesn't want to interfere with a game. They don't want to, unless an illegal play is happening, you don't want to interfere. Like if they swing 5 into Whitebeard, okay,
Yeah.
that's a real
That's
a
their
real play.
fault.
Yeah. If you drop 9K into counter for a 5K attack, that's a legal play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened on stream. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
And then
Call people out.
Damn.
I feel
it's for the
bad.
group chat.
I feel bad
He'll
for
see you
that
later.
Cough
It's
name,
fine.
know?
It's okay, Cross and
I
Karar.
call that a skill check. When I don't have Dawn to put on my leader, I'll just swing 5 into Whitebeard, and if they guard that's my skill check for
Yeah.
the match.
So
Yeah,
they combo
that's the
out.
real thing. Yeah, especially in the sim, they don't know. They just click it.
Yeah.
But it was a fun event. Judging, there's a lot more to pay attention now. There's more things in the board that you gotta see with set 2, the life, the clearing of the effects. The game's only gonna get more complex from now on. So as a judge, you gotta stay up to date with the rulings, interactions, what does this card do? Because sometimes they might make a play and they'll forget to do a thing about it, like taking a life. And technically it could be an exit the game state, but it is mandatory. So you have to
Fix the board
Fix
state.
the board,
Yeah.
and it's reversible. But yeah, no, it was a fun event. It was good. A lot of learning to have from either side. I definitely would love to do it again with Top Cut. I'm very thankful that they hired me for the event. It was great. I love working with Eric, Ben, Daniel, the whole entire team.
Yeah.
So I look forward to
was a
future events
great
with them.
event.
Yeah, no. Jimmy, the owner, and Steven, the TO, they were great. I loved it.
Yep.
So
It was a great event. I'm super happy with my results. Super happy with the deck choice. Just feel so lucky to have all the support I had at the event too. Because we're all a competitive bunch.
Yeah,
We're all a super competitive bunch, and just knowing that despite how good we all are, I feel like, and how good all these players are, they were still supporting me the whole time, even though I know any one of those guys could have been there too. You know what I mean? So that's super cool to me and super special, and made the run even better. And yeah, I had a great time. What about you?
Yeah, it was a really awesome event. A lot of support from everybody. I appreciate everyone that came up and was like, "Yo, I'm a fan." There's a few guys that came up to me and they were like, "Oh, you're playing Kinemon today?" Because they saw my deck list, and I was like, "Oh, not today." But yeah, it was super cool.
Can we get that on camera once again? You played Whitebeard, right?
Yeah, I played Whitebeard.
Like
They asked him if he was
every
playing.
podcast before. This
Oh.
Yeah.
was just a shit talking Whitebeard.
Yeah,
Oh.
I shit talked Whitebeard about how it was dumb and oppressive and
Uh-huh.
overly broken, so I played the overly broken deck in the tournament.
Oh. Okay.
See, he wanted the
Yeah,
dub
do you
more
know
than
what my
anything else.
Decklist was named?
Garrett Beard.
No, it was Errata Radical Beam. That was the name
Errata
of my deck.
Radical Beam. Wow. Hopefully not.
Yeah, the
He
deck's
even
a problem.
played the wrong name.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can't
the
even get
deck's
it
a
right.
problem. And then
Before he goes into
before
tangent.
I go on a tangent, I will say, as I said earlier, never played the deck. Played it for the first time the day of the tournament with X1.
I'm done.
Blue's crazy. We played Whitebeard. We talked.
Yeah.
Worst generation. We out here, boys.
Hey, we love animals. We'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.